Hi there, everyone. SAT practice problems. I'm going to go through the first round of them right now. I want you to follow along with the problems from the packet. You may or may not have gotten them right, so follow along with the ones that you, especially the ones you didn't get right. If you just guessed, I still want you to follow along because these are types that you will see on your SAT after vacation. So it's really going to help to kind of hear me go through them and see the work while you write it down. Seeing it, hearing it, writing it down. Number one talks about running miles on different days. What's the total? What they're looking for is for you to be able to do fractions. So for number one, you've got to be able to add and the goal on that is common denominators. In 3 and 5, common denominator is 15. You guys should be good. I got a middle school concept. This will make it 1 and 6/15, 2 and 5/15. 2 plus 1 is 3. 6/15 plus 5/15 is 3 and 11/15. Which is your answer for number one, letter E. Number two. Number two gets into some exponent practice. Everything going on here is multiplication. We've done problems like that, knowing your rules of exponents. Whole numbers we multiply together. Now, I'm going to add some test taking tips to this. 3 times 2 times 4 is 24. So right away, if you look at your answers, you can eliminate F and G because we don't have 9. They're assuming you got 9 by going 3 plus 2 plus 4. Adding those will get 9. But we are multiplying. 3 times 2 times 4. That's the coefficients. The whole number's there. So 24. So it's either going to be H, J, or K. So what do we do with exponents? X to the third, X to the second, X to the second. So it's going to be 24X. What's the exponent going to be? Add your exponents. That's the rule with exponents in this situation. 3 plus 2 plus 2 is a 7. And if you look at number 2, there's only one answer, letter H, that has x to the 7th. You really don't even have to go to the y right here. This should be enough to say that letter H is the answer. But we could do y to the first times y to the first is y squared, and there is your letter H answer. Number 3. The reason I don't like number 3 isn't because of the math involved. I actually like the math that's involved. It's just that this guy is a teacher whose salary is pretty low. I make about $5 more than that. I can't believe they're lowering that price. And then they talk about how if he takes a day off, he doesn't get paid. I mean, I get sick days, so that's why, from a teacher's perspective, I don't like the problem. But actually, it's pretty good. The salary is $22,570. And if you cut to the chase, read the end. What do they say at the end? They want to say, how much less does the school district pay in salary by paying a substitute teacher for the day? So if the salary for that teacher is this, and he works 185 days, then we need to figure out how much he makes per day. And by doing that math, it comes out to $122 a day. The substitutes make $80 per day. So under this situation, which again really isn't a real life situation, because when I take a day off, I do get paid as part of my sick days. How much less does the district pay in salary? So we need to find the difference here, which is $42, letter A. Okay, now note one of the possible answer choices is $122. So if you do that division, you get 122, and you look and say, oh, that number is there, I need to circle it. Please go through the problem a little more to see if that answers the question. $80 is also one of the possible answers, and but we need to subtract them to get that answer. That's number 3, A. Number 4 talks about a student getting following scores on 100-point tests, meaning that's the maximum that you could get. What score must the student earn on the 5th and last 100-point test to get an average of 80 for 5? So we got a 65, got a 73, got an 81, got an 82, and we've got a 5th that we don't know. Now, if you add up these totals, you will get 301. That's what these 4 add up to. We don't know what the 5th is, so it's going to be 301 plus the last test. And we need to have an average of 80. So it's not going to equal 80. We don't want it to equal 80. We want it to average 80 for 5 tests. So if the average is 80 for 5 tests, that's going to be 400 points. So the 301 points plus the new points has to equal 400 points. So when you do this math, minus 301, x will equal 99, which is an answer, it's letter J. Notice that the answer K says the student cannot earn an average of 80. So they are opening themselves up. If, say this person got 2 points less and got a 71, and then we add those, the total of these add up to 299, plus the last one, we still need that 80, and when we subtract, x will equal 101, and that would qualify for letter K. If we had 2 less points on one of these tests, then that would qualify for that situation. So I'm just showing you an example as to how you would get letter K. Last one we're going to do is number 5. Number 5 looks intimidating because all of a sudden you're dealing with oxygen saturation levels of a river. We're not in science class, but like we've learned a lot this year, science uses a lot of math. And ultimately what they say is that there is is found by dividing the amount of oxygen by the dissolved oxygen capacity. This is the dissolved oxygen, and this is the dissolved oxygen capacity. Okay, so when we do that, this divided by this, it becomes that. And that's a percent. And they're just asking what's the saturation level to the nearest percent. So really all we're doing is that. You get a decimal, move it over. The nearest is 74%, which gives us letter D.